Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is old Yasha Ben Israel back at you one more time. I haven't been at y'all for a while, doing any live streams, and I need to let you all know that I've having problems with my computer. Uh, Being the brainiac that I am, I went into the computer one day just sitting around bored, got on YouTube and started doing some troubleshooting. And I thought that maybe I've had a virus or uh, something. At least that's what I thought. But doing troubleshooting, I really just had a pretty old computer. This old computer storage was just packed. So I did a run disk clean, and cleaned out all of the disks, which took extremely long time. And I come to find out that I actually did a successful job. Um, the computer's clear. It's not a lot of static. It's not a lot of junk, in the way. But that being stated, today I got a little bit of good stuff I like to share with you. I don't know how long this video would be up because this is really just a test to see did I do well. This is a test just to see if I did well. You know, and we're going to see in just one moment. So allow me to share my screen. Wow, the panel looks a lot different from the last time I was up here. And we're going to pop that off there. What we got going on here? Let's see. Let's say the differences between Yiddish and Hebrew. Let's see what we can come across here.
Guess which student has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school? First, take a look at Zach. He's valedictorian, national
in Yiddish, so I can talk to grandma. Good day, guys. This is just a quick answer, a question that I got, and I decided to make it into a video because I've had this question before, and maybe it's something that a lot of people are wondering.
The question the same is, languages. The answer to that is no. And this is to a guy who studied Yiddish because he wanted to talk to his Yiddish-speaking grandmother. Let's hear that again.
They're often confused with each other because the Yiddish language is written in the Hebrew alphabet. They're often confused with each other because language. Are written in the Arabic alphabet, or that German is written in the Roman alphabet, just like English is. So someone who doesn't read that script might look at it and think that it's the same language. But Hebrew and Yiddish are different. Another reason they might be confused is that they're both related to Jewish people, but they're related to Jewish people in different ways. So Hebrew is the, as they would call it, the Torah, and it's also been a literary language of Jews throughout the centuries, often for religious purposes or literary reasons they would write in Hebrew. But it was just a literary language for a long time. It died as a spoken language. But Yiddish was spoken by Jews in Europe. And it's the language it's mostly related to is German. It's kind of a medieval form of German. But I understand that to some extent, Yiddish speakers can communicate with German speakers and they can understand each other, not fully, but to some extent. So it's mostly related to German. But it's been influenced by Hebrew in terms of vocabulary, and also by Aramaic and maybe some other languages too, because Hebrew and Aramaic were Jewish literary languages. So there is some Hebrew vocabulary in it, but I think the pronunciation has kind of been changed and more Germanized, so it doesn't sound like Hebrew so much. So Yiddish was influenced by Hebrew to some extent, though. And also modern Hebrew was influenced by Yiddish because the original Zionists who came to Palestine to create a Jewish state, they were Yiddish speakers. I think Yiddish, maybe Russian or whatever. But their native languages, like Yiddish and maybe also Russian and others, influenced modern Hebrew. So people say that modern Hebrew's syntax and phonology reflects the Yiddish language to some extent. So Yiddish has influenced modern Hebrew as well. But basically, they're separate languages, and you can't communicate with someone who speaks the other. It would be easier for a Yiddish speaker to communicate with someone who speaks German, I think. All right, so hopefully that is helpful. And just a quick little answer to that question. All right, talk to you later.
Well, that was very helpful. Let's back up out of there. Yeah, that was very helpful. Let's see what this sister's talking about. Skip that.
Hebrew and Yiddish. Have you ever wondered about the languages that shape Jewish culture? Today, we will look at the differences between Hebrew and Yiddish, two languages that are essential to understanding Jewish history and tradition. Hebrew is an ancient Semitic language with roots that go back thousands of years. It has a rich literary tradition, including sacred texts like the Torah, Talmud, and Hebrew Bible. Hebrew was revived as a spoken language in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, thanks to the efforts of Eliezer ben Yehuda. Today, it is the official language of Israel and is vital for Jewish liturgy and formal literature. On the other hand, Yiddish is a Germanic language that emerged in Central Europe during the medieval period. It developed as a blend of Middle High German, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Slavic languages. Yiddish was primarily spoken by Ashkenazi Jews in Eastern Europe and was used for everyday communication, folklore, and literature. When it comes to writing, Hebrew is written from right to left using the Hebrew alphabet, which has 22 consonant letters. This script is traditionally used for religious texts and modern communication in Israel. Yiddish also uses the Hebrew alphabet, but it includes additional diacritical marks and characters to representing unique sounds, like KH and SH. Yiddish literature is primarily written in this script. Historically, Hebrew and Yiddish coexisted within Jewish communities. Hebrew was the language of liturgy and formal literature, while Yiddish served everyday speech and informal communication. This division allowed both languages to play distinct roles in Jewish life. For those interested in Jewish spirituality and theology, learning Hebrew is essential for reading sacred texts like the Torah and Talmud. Yiddish, while not as central to religious practices, offers a unique perspective on Jewish cultural heritage. It enriches one's appreciation of Jewish history and traditions. Both Hebrew and Yiddish contribute to a deeper connection with Jewish identity. Understanding these languages helps illuminate the rich linguistic heritage of Jewish culture. So, Whether you are drawn to the sacred texts of Hebrew or the vibrant folklore of Yiddish, both languages offer a gateway into the heart of Jewish spirituality and tradition.
All right, that's enough of that. We can back up out of there. Back up out of there. Maybe we can go back over here. Yeah. I want to look over here and see what we can do with Google. And let's play around with a little AI. All right. I had to go and pull up something over there. Allow me to share my screen. Okay, share screen there. I like old Gemini. Gemini is good. Let's have old chat with old Gemini. I hope I ain't got to sign in and have a chat with Gemini. I think I do. Oh, we went back up out of that one and see if we can have a convo with Gemini. I was in one of these where I didn't have to push a button every time I talked. Well, it's the same one. Is it a blow up button over here anywhere on the screen where I can blow this up? I guess not. He wants to allow it. Good morning, Gemini. Okay. I don't like that. I'll probably have to sign in. I'm not doing much, y'all, over here, just running a test. And the test is successful. I actually fixed my computer. I got rid of all of the malware and spyware up out of there. Trying to get a couple things together over here. I don't know. I may leave, if I get a couple views, I may leave it up. Eventually, I'll end up taking it down because it's really just a test video. I'm gonna run it back and play it. See that it go well. Okay, we back up out of there. Back over here in the StreamYard. I wonder how could I, if I wanted to, is there a way that you could black the screen? It is. Okay, let's see. And if I shared screen, oh, it's still sharing. If you can get back out of that, go over there. All right. But it's still sharing screen. And then you add it back to the stage there. Yes, I'm just figuring this thing on out. I haven't been on here in a while. Let's see how this button works. So what's this button here for? So that's a button. So what's this new need help button? What did I do? Oh, that's to leave the studio. They did some little changes, not much. So what's going on with the new layout? Okay. And you cancel it. Just over here checking things out. That's the new layout. Okay. Yeah. Checking out the new layouts. And what's that about there? Okay. Now what's this? It's camera resolution. All right, well, I'm about ready to get up out of here, go to bed. And this was a test completed. And the test was successful. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be doing some good stuff tomorrow now that I can get back online. All right, y'all, I'm leaving the studio.